Well, it is halftime. Clemson is leading South Carolina in the Palmetto Bowl. 17-14. Sorry, I can't help myself. Right now, what an interesting game. What a very interesting game and a turn of events. Two totally different offensive scoring drive types, timing. Yeah, I could have said that better, but if you're here for perfect delivery, you're going to have to find another channel. One offense can score fast, and I'm going to talk about that at nauseam. Another one is methodically moving the ball down the field, and South Carolina just can't stop them. So Clemson's up 17-14 right now in the Palmetto Bowl. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. I love Clemson football. It's been a tough season, but hey, if you're here, you're here. I hope you'll subscribe. It's free. Pass along to your friends, whether it's at work, on the forums, on Facebook, etc. I do appreciate it. I just crossed 8,800 subscribers. I was 5 away, and I asked everyone to subscribe last night, and got me well over that. So just keep subscribing. I do appreciate it. Pass it along. Check out my other channel, Another College Football Podcast, where I talk about college football as a whole. I have the link below that video. And if you want to join, yes, I'm getting to the game. If you want to join on a monthly basis, I have a lot of people who are starting to join. I made it really affordable. The join button's below this video. So I hope you'll do that if you like what I'm doing, if you like supporting independent creators. So let's talk about this for a second. I have the game on right here on my phone. So Clemson's winning 17-14. And both of these teams are scoring in different ways. For instance, Clemson, listen to these stats. This is crazy. Now, remember, South Carolina's only losing by 3 points. They have only 6 first downs in the entire game. They're 0 of 3 on third down. They've had the ball for only 8 minutes and 16 seconds in a 30-minute half. You would think that South Carolina, who, by the way, has rushed for -5 yards, you would think that they would be down 17-0. No, my friend, they're not. They are not. And I'm going to talk more about that in a second. Let's go over to Clemson's sideline. We've seen Clemson play with tempo. Chase Henderson texted me, and he said, what's up with the play calling? And what he means by that, and I'm pretty sure, Chase, I'm reading exactly what you're saying there. By the way, I have the comment section turned off so I can pay attention. If y'all see me looking down, I have the box score in front of me with the stats and so on. With that said, Clemson, for you Carolina fans who you don't watch Clemson, you just know you hate Clemson, this is the problem with Clemson football. 1 minute, Clemson starts running tempo, and they move the ball at will pretty much. This is what us Clemson fans are really agitated about. And then all of a sudden, they'll just stop running tempo. They'll stop taking shots down the field. Hey, they've taken more shots downfield against you than I've seen them take pretty much against anyone this entire season that has a pulse. I'm not talking about some small school that they should beat by 900 points without trying. I'm talking about against a team who has a pulse. And they have taken multiple shots downfield. Clemson has 18 first downs. They're 5 of 9 on third down. They have 289 yards, 194 in the air, 95 on the ground. They've had 3 penalties for 20 yards. South Carolina's had 3 penalties for 29 yards. Both teams have turned over the football, and Clemson's had the ball 21 minutes and 44 seconds to South Carolina's 8-16, and Clemson's only winning by 3 points. How did that happen? Let me tell you how that happened. In my pregame and in my preview of this game, I said that this is going to come down to which team wants to lose less. Not win more, lose less. And I said that they're going to be busted assignments downfield. They're busted coverage, and that's busted assignment. And the question will be, how few of them will they have? Well, Clemson's secondary is the one that gave up the 14 points. Lenora Sellers has passed for 205 yards. 127 of that, if my memory serves me correct, is on 2 passes, and those are the 2 touchdowns that he has. And I was texting with the Henderson brothers, and I'm saying this because it is what it is. Everybody and their brother knows about 3 players that's on South Carolina's football team. Lenora Sellers, he's the quarterback, which, by the way, I do believe an agent has got in his ear, hey, guy, just stay healthy. Don't run as much. And for that, I'm thankful. Dylan Stewart on the defensive line. This is a guy that was preseason All-American, I think. The guy has not fell off whatsoever. He's played his brains out for the Chickens. But there's a third guy. There's a third guy that anyone who knows college football, they know that there's a third player on South Carolina's team because he's massive, he's 6'5", and he has Olympic speed, and his name is Nick Harbor. Everyone knows about him, but apparently, Clemson has just now found out that big 6'5" guy can actually run really fast. Really, really fast. And so, with that said, you should probably know that big, massive dude lined up out there, they're going to throw the ball up to him because he's fast and he's tall enough and he can go get it. Then the pass to that guy, Jacobs, I'm going to tell you right now, that was one of the worst efforts I have seen by a secondary ever. Now, you know me, when I name out players, I try to. I'm just going to leave it at this. That was some of the worst effort football that I saw that I've seen in quite a while. Not from Clemson. I'm talking about football as a whole. The worst effort that I've seen out of any team, and I watch college football nonstop. Some of you just love Clemson, or you just love your Gamecocks, or you just love your team, and that's it. You could care less. I watch college football as a whole, and here's the reason why. A, I like it. And B, it will actually tell you how good or how bad your football team really is. When you start to hit on something, you think, man, we're looking good. No, you're not. You're average compared to everyone else. Whoa, how do you know that? Because I'm not stuck in the nucleus that is fill in the blank team. And then that begins to inform how you look at football as a whole. That can be a good thing and a bad thing, by the way. But that was the worst effort I've seen from any team I've watched in college football this entire season. I've watched a ton of games, different levels. That was the worst effort, and it came in a rivalry game. So there are massive issues there. Clemson's offense has actually played pretty well. Clemson's defense up front has played really well. Now, I know that South Carolina's offensive line is not good, but since Sean Elliott took over, they've actually been doing better. Clemson has been overwhelming them. And if you notice on these sacks, there's 3 players who are commonly involved, and you'll always see them right there. You have Will Helt on one end. You have T.J. Parker on the other end. This is the best T.J. Parker's looked all year, by the way. And then who's on top of him? Sammy Brown, the top-rated linebacker we've ever signed in Clemson history, number 47. He's right on top of him. I noticed that right off the bat. Clemson's front 7 has not blown this game apart. It's been the secondary. It has been the secondary. And so if you looked at the numbers, you would go, Clemson is up 17-0. No, they're up 17-14. I'll take that. All you have to do is score one more point than the other guys. You win the ball game. But this is bad. And here's another thing. Clock management at the end right there. Did spiking the football become illegal in college football? You had a first down. Has spiking the football and stopping the clock and it going from first to second down, so now you have the clock stop and you have a timeout in your pocket. When did game management, clock management become a thing of the past? And I see this with college football teams across the board. That was poor clock management. And so I'm sitting here, Clemson's winning 17-14. The offense is actually, I'm telling you, South Carolina fans, this is not the offense that commonly played for Clemson consistently throughout this season. No, this is the offense that came out and 1 minute they'd play tempo and the next minute they'd slow it down. You remember when y'all were making fun of us for losing to Troy? And you're like, y'all are down 16-3, bunch of losers. All of a sudden, Clemson started going tempo and they were winning like that. Clemson picks and chooses. Their offensive scheme picks and chooses when they go tempo and when they want to be effective. And that's why as Clemson fans have been losing our minds. And by the way, someone left in the comments section when I talked about how bad South Carolina's defense, I knew that they were not going to be that great because of all the players that they lost last year. Someone said, yeah, you lost me when you brought that up. I'm telling you right now, your defense looks terrible. If Clemson's defense, their secondary was not as terrible as they're playing right now, y'all be down 17-0. Y'all's defense looks bad. Clemson, a mix between Clemson actually taking some shots downfield and moving the ball, calling tempo. Y'all's defense looks just as bad as I said it did. And even if y'all end up somehow winning this ball game, your defense still looks bad. And that's the reason that you're 4-7 coming into this game. And even if you beat Clemson, it still doesn't change how bad your defense looks. And I told you that. You can't lose that much talent unless you're Georgia or Ohio State and reload. You're not that type of school. And I mean, it just is what it is. But right now, Clemson is up 17-14, and their secondary and the strategy with the secondary is what's costing them. We'll look at the comment section really, really quick. There's a bunch of people in here. Harriet DeWitt's in here. Marcus Parsons asked, "Where's Tristan Smith?" I think he's washing towels. I don't know where Tristan Smith is at. What I mean by that is Tristan Smith is a guy that you send downfield, you throw a jump ball to him, and they have been calling plays to go to him like, he's my size. I'm barely 5'9". You run those bubble screens to guys that are shifty and they're smaller players, kind of like Tyler Brown or Antonio Williams. You don't run those types of plays to a 6'5" guy who's a possession guy downfield. So I don't know where he's at. Grafnar's in here. Big John said, "If I didn't know better, I think we were betting the game. The DBs in Klubnik are terrible. Spotted them 14. Good to see you, my man. Rustastic. Good to see you in here. Colts all day. Good to see you in here. We're actually making throws downfield. 2 wide receivers. Again, Garrett Riley has been holding back the entire time. Jaden Lucas needs to never touch the field again after that big touchdown. Philip Medlin, good to see you. Ton of you are in here, folks. And I'm glad you are here. I'm glad you're in here. Ton of you are in here. How was that hit on Cole Turner not a targeting call? I don't know, because in every game I've watched this year, Clemson or not, that's targeting. That's targeting. Hey, look, Clemson, they may have received a pass interference call down there in the end zone, but the officials can't keep making a bunch of makeup calls for one. They called a really light holding call down there while Shane's losing it. And by the way, folks, I'm going to tell you this. I have respect for Shane Beamer. I think that he will actually do a good job at South Carolina, considering what he's working with and so on. But I'm telling you straight up, all you have to do is get in Shane Beamer's head just a little bit, and he will get so emotional he'll throw the game. Just look at what Brett Bielema did to him last year. And so if Clemson can just kind of get in Beamer's head, he'll throw the game out of anger. And we've seen this before. So if Clemson will just kind of annoy him a little more, we'll be fine. And if our DBs can just step up, we'll be all right. So someone said, Chase said Tristan Smith is playing, but is just a blocking dummy. Yeah, that's not the reason he came to Clemson. That's sad. That is really sad. Bunch of people are in here chatting right now. So let's talk about the keys for the second half. I know that the half will be starting here not too long. Here's the keys to the second half. If your Clemson's offense, don't change a darn thing. Don't slow down. Manage the clock a little better. But take more shots downfield. South Carolina cannot guard you. If there's one thing I can say both of these teams are really good at, it's not in the secondary, either one of them. Okay? So that's one thing. For Clemson's defense, your front seven is actually playing quite well. Your secondary, it is up to Mike Reed and Mickey Kine to put the right people out on the field. And if someone has been struggling, they don't need to be out on the field, and they don't need to be covering Nick Harbor. And you need to look at your safety. I've told you this before. If you've ever watched my channel, I've coached Little League football. Let me tell you right now, I have looked at 10-year-old boys and went, and put them at safety and go, don't let anyone behind you. Okay. Don't let anyone behind you. Okay. Standing flat-footed, 3 people run right past them. Put 2 safeties back there. Don't let anyone behind you. Okay. That's 10-year-old boys. These are college-age guys playing at the D1 level. And they've played a lot of football up to this point. And so this letting a 6'5" Olympic speed guy run past you is out of the question. And so if the coaches are putting a different package out there, well, it's the package that we put out there, and this is what we felt was good. Folks, I'm going to tell you this straight up. These packages is the reason that you got to 6-5 this year. So I wouldn't get defensive about the packages. I would get offensive and say, you know what, we can't do that in this game. If we could just win this game, we could take some heat off ourselves by not losing for a third time in 4 years to South Carolina. Okay? So you can make your life easier by putting the right people out on the field. So you need to have your best defensive player covering Nick Harbor, and next, if anyone else seems to be struggling, you need to pull them off the field and pull them off the field now. And so the safety over the top, you have to keep the safety over the top and tackling. Don't give up on a play. Do not give up on a play. That's the keys there. Clemson continue to play tempo, take more shots downfield, and defense, keep doing what you're doing except for the secondary. We have to somehow stop them, because South Carolina, listen, they could have the ball for 3 minutes and win the ball game, and that's all that matters. So, give you some quick numbers. Cade's he's thrown 1 interception. He has thrown 1 interception, but he's 15 of 23, 194. He took a shot there at the end. I hope he's okay. Lenoris Sellers, 205 yards passing. Remember, they had -5 yards rushing. And so they only have 200 total yards. He's thrown for 205. 2 passes of that. Two passes out of the 9 he's completed, I think, combined is for 127 of that 205 and 2 touchdowns. So that's what I'm talking about with the coverage. Let's talk about rushing. Adam Randall's actually running quite well. 12 carries, 68 yards, 1 touchdown. South Carolina, Faison, 2 carries, 6 yards. Clemson's winning the battle up front. They are winning the battle up front. It's the secondary. Sorry, you got it. You know. If anyone's offended that I'm bringing up the secondary here, I'm just repeating what happened. Change what happened, and I'll talk about that. We have TJ Moore. You know what? I hate that Bryant Wesco got injured. I really do hate that Bryant Wesco got injured. And the Clemson game is about to start back, but I'll say this real quick. TJ Moore coming out, 5 receptions, 93 yards, big deal. TJ Moore actually took a picture with my nephew, saw him out in public, and then gave him a pair of his game gloves he wore against Furman last week. So, TJ Moore, thank you for treating my nephew very, very well. That's very kind of you. So, all right, folks, I'll see you after the game, win or lose. Clemson secondary, please step up. Clemson's offense, take more shots down the field. Keep going tempo. Y'all take care of yourselves. I'll see you at halftime.